Welcome to this edition of the Soy Checkoff Check-In. I'm your host and AgriTalk host, Chip Flory. One of the primary roles of the soybean checkoff is market development. We're going to learn more about that today with Darren Kadlec. Darren is a diversified farmer in North Dakota, and he is a ninth-year farmer leader on the United Soybean Board as a current member of the Health and Nutrition Demand Action Team. Darren, welcome to the Soy Checkoff Check-In.
Thank you, Chip. Glad to be here.
Excellent. Darren, you know this as well as anybody, but one of the really cool things that USB does is the organization of the See for Yourself missions. You were on one of these missions to Honduras and Guatemala. Tell us about that.
Basically, I was involved because I'm also a member of the Audit and Eval Committee on United Soybean Board. So I went down there in two capacities, to be kind of an old guard ambassador for the checkoff, but I was also looking at it from an evaluation perspective. Where have we been? Where are we now? And where are we going to go in the future with this?
And what did you learn?
Checkoff dollars significantly started being invested. I was on the North Dakota board back in 2004, and it was kind of our first foray into the Central American market. You know, typically we were P&W, heavily focused, and we had a few extra dollars to invest in Guatemala via the World Initiative for Soy and Human Health. At that time, our chairman traveled there, and in Guatemala, things were very underdeveloped. We were talking malnourished children, malnourished population, what you would classify as an early emerging market. Over time, CAFTA came around, the free trade agreement, and it opened doors for more products, in our case, soy. Their poultry industry developed, so much so now that it's one of the top 15 markets for U.S. meal. This year specifically, the Americas region, that includes Canada and Mexico, is running roughly, 35-40% ahead of last year at this time. Guatemala and Honduras specifically are up 15% year over year. So we saw a country that I really wouldn't have wanted to travel to in 2004 to something that's become very developed. They're eating roughly 64 pounds of chicken per capita in Guatemala. Right now, they're eating about 13, 14, 15 pounds of pork per capita. So we went from 0 to 25 to 55. And they're in that growth phase now where they're looking at a phase 4 expansion of their port to be able to speed up capacity, because currently they're looking at days of delay in offloading vessels in that 30 to 35 days right now. So that's becoming incredibly costly for an industry that relies on imported feed grains.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The average age of today's farmer, about 60. Why are the initiatives like See for Yourself vital for promoting younger and more diverse involvement in farming and the checkoff leadership?
How do we get the younger generation that's at home taking care of young children? How do we get them to think ahead, to further their professional career, and also be part of something that's very important for the next generation of those people that have those young children at home? So we're able to, through the help of the states or current members, to get those referrals of really bright young minds that are willing to open their eyes. And then when you get them on the ground over there and they see what we're doing and sitting through some of the meetings, the questions start flowing and you get that glazed over look at times, but then it's like, wow, it's fun to see the ideas that they come with, the energy that come with. Their own network is being built from across the country.
You've done quite a bit of work with the U.S. Soybean Export Council Board as well. What work is USEC doing in international markets right now? And talk about the importance of those partnerships that USB has with groups like USEC.
Market access. Middle East, North Africa, there were some issues there with market access in Pakistan, for instance, and now all of a sudden those are resolved, and USEC had a role in that. There was a trilateral agreement signed with APSIA and the poultry producers over there to work together to try to figure it out. Now all of a sudden they're looking at, several 100,000 tons of imports from the United States, 400,000 tons, and we're halfway through the marketing year. So little things like that.
Yeah, interesting stuff, Darren. Thank you for sharing those insights.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. That is North Dakota farmer Darren Kadlec. Darren is a current member of the USB Health and Nutrition Demand Action Team. Don't forget, you can learn more about USB and efforts to build demand by going to unitedsoybean.org. I'm your Checkoff check-in host, Chip Flory. Now, let's get back to AgriTalk.